Guys, this is, well, it's going to be a quick announcement actually. I've not had one of the best afternoons on the workbench. I was going to get started on this as my entry into my leopard group build, but I've had a major hiccup on it, whereby one of the essential parts on the kit has basically broken and snapped. Now, as we all know, trying to get spare parts from Tamir is an absolute nightmare. And with this one, I bought this one ages ago, and trying to get a replacement is going to cost me. And so therefore I have stopped the build on this particular kit. The only way I could do it is basically get another one in of this and use the spare parts off that to continue with the build. Now that will be running into 2.5 weeks. So I'm not going to continue with this particular kit. This one will go back into the stash, and at some time in the future I'll proceed with it once I've got a replacement kit in. So that one's going, and instead, as a replacement for the leopard group build, I'm going to do this puppy, which is the Tamiya Flak Panzer Leopard, which is the anti-tank version of the Leopard 1A4. So that, guys, is going to be my entry into the leopard group build, and I shall get cracking on that as soon as possible. Whether I manage to get it finished in time, I don't know. I have just just virtually messaged Sebastian Choof of Dutch Modelling, who's hosting the group build for the Pricks of Plastic leopard group build, and let him know. So it's an unusual subject, and I know Mark O'Neill built this kit I think about a year or two ago, and he said it's a pretty good build. So there you go. I'm going to carry on with it using this kit. So what I'll do now is just do a quick inbox review of this kit. As you can see, this is the anti-tank version, well, anti-aircraft gun version. A little bit unusual, but it's still got the same sort of Leopard 1A4 chassis, as you can see there. I'm not sure if it's still in use. I think it may well be. So there you go. Anyway, without further ado, you've got the most classic. We got the classic box art of the Leopard, as you can see there. As I say, I'm not sure if it's still in service or not, because this is a quick sort of a pro sort of video, really, to still take part in the leopard group build. So bear with me, guys. I'm probably going to read out the instruction sheet on the history of this. So yeah, I haven't had much time to do any research on it, so bear with me on this, guys. Okay, again, you got a lovely box art. It's still in production. I got this one off eBay some time ago, hence the dust that's still on it. Yeah, anyway, moving on from that. It does look to be a nice solid build, actually. As I say, this one is, I think this one is a little younger than the original Kampfpanzer version, and has been in production for some number of years, but all the same, it's not a bad little kit. Anyway, without further ado, let's get through to the instruction sheet on this one. Let's move the kit out of the way. Okay. We got it both in Japanese and English, so we'll be using the English ones, obviously. Again, you got a history about the Leopard at the bottom here, a box art. Well, you got an illustration of what the kit looks like once it's assembled. It's quite an impressive looking vehicle, and obviously you can have the back open, so there's obviously internal workings. That I might well do, but what I'm going to do, as opposed to doing a vignette, I'm going to do this as a standalone build now, guys. Reason being is because of time. Because this group build, I think, will be finishing in about 6 to 7 weeks. Okay, so it will still make a nice, quite interesting subject all the same. And what I'm going to do now is I'll just do a quick readout of the actual notes that are actually on this. It says the basis of the Leopard weapon system is the remarkable Oerlikon Contrave 35mm, which was developed and put into production in the early 1960s. To combat modern jet aircraft approaching in the battlefield at tactical attack heights, a very high rate of fire was needed, coupled with a high muzzle velocity. The 35mm caliber was found to be the optimum size for the best combination of weapon weight and effectiveness. During the 1960s, two prototypes were produced. One was fitted with a German-developed twin 30mm turret developed by Rheinmetall. The other was a turret and a twin 35 mount utilising the 3590 gun developed by Oerlikon. The Oerlikon design was chosen for production, and the resulting vehicle, designated Flakpanzer Gepard, was essentially a standard Leopard with the ordinary turret replaced with the Oerlikon Traves 20 to 3590mm AA turret and associated auxiliary equipment. The changes to suit the 3590mm gun for the anti-tank mount was quite considerable. Ballistically, there is no change, but the two guns were set wide apart, one each side of the turret, instead of being as close together as possible in the field mount. A major difference in the ammunition feed on the field mount: the guns are magazine and hopper fed, but in the Gepard the guns are belt fed, this being done to facilitate the quick switching from high explosives ammunition to armour piercing ammunition, so that the vehicle can engage either air or ground targets at will. The barrel is also strengthened to allow for longer periods of continuous fire than might be expected from the field mount. A 90 caliber gun is designated a Oerlikon 353 MK and is a gas operated with a horizontal sliding breech block. The weapon housing and barrel slide on the cradle during recoil while the feed mechanism does not move. The gun can fire continuously given a constant ammunition supply, and the theoretical rate of fire is 550 rounds per minute and is the highest yet for an automatic AA weapon with a single barrel. The control equipment, Super Fight Mouse, designed and built by Contrave, includes an AFR 150 impulse radar which will pick up targets from 50 km range and follow them automatically inside a radius of 40 km. There is a linked optical sighting system for the close engagement or emergency use. Two magnetrons allow the use of alternative frequencies if jamming is encountered. All relevant data on the target and weather conditions, etc., is fed into a computer within the system to give accurate aiming guidance. For added accuracy, a continuous measurement muzzle velocity is kept. This can change during sustained firing and fed into the control system. So it's quite an advanced weapon for its time, actually, guys. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Anyway, moving on. First off, you've obviously got the assembly of the running gear, as is the case on the ordinary Flakpanzer. Add the wheels, as they suggest here, to the lower chassis. I won't be doing that, but you end up putting the back plate and the hatches on the back there. Okay, and then moving on, you've got the mud guards which go on the rear, okay, along with the tow bars. And then you go on to the upper deck, put the engine grille on, side storage belts, etc., front mud guards. The crew hatch goes down, and then obviously you've got the headlights here, tow bars, etc. Okay, next process. Again, you've got a little illustration here of the actual kit done up from an aerial looking down, so it's quite a bulky kit. And then again on the back, as with the Kampfpanzer, you've got the engine fan in there which you put in, and then you've got the mesh, okay, and then obviously you've got all your storage ammunition racks go on there. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'll find out. And then this is the retraction unit for the internal working, so if you want the back open, I would assume. And then obviously you've got the assembly of the Oerlikon gun and the mount there. Up here you've got a colour guide of the only crew figure which comes with a kit, okay. And this, I'm not quite sure what this is. This is part of the turret, obviously all the mechanisms which go on there, okay. Then there's the main part of the turret. You put all the sub-assemblies on, including the sights on there, and then the Oerlikon guns are added, okay. Again, you got the assembly of the radar, which you can see here with various units. That's then put onto the back of the main turret, and then obviously you've got the commander's cupola here. You put the Oerlikon and the actual radar on, add that to the bottom part of the turret, and then add that to the upper hull, and the upper hull is added to the lower hull. And on here, it's suggesting you use sprue for the aerials, stretch sprue. So there you go. And then on the back, you've got the colour call out for a unit which was based in West Germany. There's no actual indication as to what unit it was. Okay. And then there on the bottom is the assembled kit. And there you go. Right, let's have a look at the kit parts. First off, the upper hull. Again, it's a little bit different. It's the same as the 1A4. Obviously got all the grills here. Lovely detail. It's made of a dark green plastic, so that'd be good. I have to say that if you look at the detail, it's very nicely and crisply done, guys. Very nicely and crisply done indeed. And it is a big old vehicle, I have to say. So there you go. And then obviously you've got your engine grill, which goes in there. Okay. This is the part of the main turret. Again, that's quite nicely crisply made, as you can see there, with fine detail. And there's some nice surface texture on here as well. Okay, and there's the radar mount right there, or the Oerlikon mount, as you can see there. So it's going to be a nice, big, bulky vehicle to build. I'm quite looking forward to this, actually. And then we go on to the first bag of sprues. Open here. Again, unfortunately, guys, it's bloody staples. I wish Tamiya wouldn't do this. Right, this is part of the radar mount, I think. Again, you've got some nice internal detail here if you want it open, which I'll probably do. And yeah, that's going to look really nice, obviously with a wash, etc. Okay, and that's obviously your lower mount for your turret. Okay. And there's your radar, which you can see here. Okay, and various other parts and the sub-assemblies. Okay, unfortunately there are a few sort of mould seams and blocks on there which will need sanding off, but hey, it is quite an old kit. You've got to expect it for these age. And then obviously you've got the mounts for the Oerlikons on here, and various other parts here, and that's your main radar dish, etc. And there's the gun, Oerlikon guns there themselves. I can imagine it quite delicate to get off the sprue, so I would be very, very careful when you do that, guys. Okay. Right. Next sprues. Let's put on here. Yeah, this is your back plate, as you can see here. For the lower hull, and obviously you've got your headlights either side. I think this is, I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't know if that's part where the fan blade or air inlet is. And then you've got the exhaust stacks right here. Part of your storage side, unit pods here. Very nicely covered. Again, there's some nice level of detail on here, especially on this side skirt right here, if I can get it into focus. Very nicely done and very crisply done, and there's hardly, if any, flash on this at all. It's very clear, very sharp. Okay, and then there's your yeah, there's your back plate there. Again, the level of detail on that is very nicely done as well. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and that's your mesh for your engine grill. Okay, I haven't really got time to get any aftermarket in, but hey, there you go. There's your decals. Again, they are a little bit on the thick side, but I might well try out some of that mark fit that Tamiya do now, so that might help embed it down a little bit more. But yeah, very nice. Okay, so that's that. Put that back in the bag. And put those back in their bag. The last thing you want to do in building a kit like this is lose any essential parts. There we go. Get them back in a bag isn't so easy. Oh, there we are. Done that. Perfect. Right. And there's another set of screws here. This is the main running gear. Get out of the bag. Oh, this is a nightmare. Right. There we go. That's the main running gear. As you can see there. Again, very nicely and crisply made. Lovely detail, especially on the sprocket. That's really nice. There you go. Very nicely done. And the figure, well, it's not bad. I've seen better, to be honest with you. I might replace that with the set that I was going to use on the other leopard. I don't know. I haven't sort of made my mind up yet. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's one of the best though. But there you go. Right. So that's that. And then obviously you get your plugs, obviously for your mounting gear, as you can see there. So that's that. Put them in the back of the bag so I don't lose them. And then obviously you've got your typical rubber tracks that Tamiya always put in their kits. Well, mostly, not with the new ones lately. But again, level of detail on them is not bad actually. I might see what they go on like, because I do have some Bronco workable track links. So, yeah, we'll see. I might see if this is going to look alright or not. I don't know. Again, not a bad level of detail on them, I have to say. So that's that. And then last but not least, you got the lower hull. You haven't got, these are actually moulded on these, the suspension gear. So, and as you can see under here, this dates it, because obviously you used to be able to sort of motorise them, as it were. I'll probably blank that off with a little bit of spare plastic card and then fill it over. But yeah, it's quite not bad. I have to say it's not bad, but it is a dated kit. But yeah, as I say, old Mark O'Neill certainly did a nice job of it. So yeah, I thought if I can't do that one, then I've got this one. So yeah, it's going to be a nice, unusual subject. As I say, it will be a standalone build, as originally with the other one I was going to do it on a vignette, but with time allowing, that won't be the case. But it'll look nice all the same. So there you go. That is Tamiya's Flak Panzer Gepard. Not a bad looking kit for its time. It is an old kit, not new. I know Meng do one. Well, they brought out some recent designs of this one, which is supposed to be pretty good. But this one still holds up well, to be honest. As I say, it's an unusual subject, quite an interesting subject. It's a very famous German vehicle. So there you go. That'll now be my entry into the Prixer Plastic Leopard Group build, and I will start on that as soon as possible. So there you go, and I should have an update maybe in the next week or so. So that's it. As I say, this is going to be my revised entry into the Prixer Plastic Leopard Group builds. I do look forward to building this actually. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. So there you go. Anyway, leave your comments below, and I'll speak to you next time. So in the meantime, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.